think you all can view my screen now. Here it is the ITOM training syllabus. First and foremost thing we are going to see about the CMDB CI and about the CI class manager, IRE engine, how the CMDB used to identify each and every new CIs coming into system, how it is updating the existing CIs in system. So this is the very tricky part in the system. So whatever we are doing with the mid server or discovery, everything will be come and ends up with this IRE engine only within the service now. So most of the troubleshooting part and most of the session will be always revolve around this IRE only. So whatever issues we are going to get, it will be mostly within this credential or with the IRE engine setup into the system. And the next and the foremost important one is the discovery setup. So how we have to set up the discovery and how we have to set up the mid server cluster and how to install the mid server, what are the prerequisites of the mid server to get installed in the system, how the horizontal and top down discovery works, and the most important and tricky part of probes, sensors, and patterns we are going to see, and also how these IP affinities, service affinities, types of discoveries worked into the organization. I just designed this syllabus to make you to understand a little bit more comfortable within the ITOM environment. It doesn't give the any kind of common topics over here, but still I just send you the most important topic how to do with the discovery classification, behavior, process classifications and all. So these every topic we will be digging deep and we will be seeing the lab session, and for every practical session you will be having how to map all these things you will be having the practicals and the lab session to know how we have to do all these things. And coming to the event management part, you know that CMDB, the ITOM, it is all like monitoring. So we are going to do some kind of monitoring setup using this event management. So we will be using SolarWinds as a practical scenario lab session. We'll be using this event management. So we will be integrating the SolarWinds with the Servicenow instance, and we will be seeing how to create an alerts, how to create everything everything on the same integration with the external events, and also how to migrate the alert rules to the alert management rules, how to create an alert correlation rules, all these, how to do the self monitors for the event management, all these things we will be seeing in the part of event management. My next and the last topic is about the cloud management. So, cloud management, we will be setting up the administration and setup of the cloud resource profile, alert manipulation, and also we help you to know how to create that templates within that cloud resources, cloud formation templates, all these things, how to create the resource blocks and so this is a very easy one. So we will be helping you to do with this AWS and Azure, and also we give you the relevant document for how to install the VMware or how to do with the AWS and Azure within the organization. Along with this, one more thing I will be providing you is the SCCM data source with the ServiceNow, because in some of the organization they have multiple data sources to get the CIs into the system. And like they can run SCCM, they can run LAN disk, they can run this discover into system. Many data sources are available. Many transform maps, import sets are available. If in that case, in that scenario, if you're working, how to manage the data that is coming from data source, how to manage the data from the discovery source. For that, I will be giving the practical lab session with the SCCM also. Okay. And or one of the question was asked from Ashok, like, are SCCM and ITOM is similar? SCCM and ITOM is not similar. Actually, SCCM is, yeah, both are going to be used by the internal organization only. But still, SCCM, it is going to be a service management. How we are going to manage our services, our issues, our requests, our changes every day into our organization. But ITOM is something like what are the network, what are the devices, what are system we are having into in our organization, how we are going to manage those things within the organization. It is the kind of thing what we are going to see in the ITOM. Okay, and again, in some of your minds, you may have a question like that. See, whether the scripting part of this particular one it is so difficult. Whether we doesn't. I mean, we need to do PowerShell scripting, Linux scripting. No, it is not like that actually. So I will be telling you the some part of the troubleshooting things in the PowerShell on Linux, but you know already that ServiceNow we always used to give the APIs that are already predefined in the system, like a Glide Record, Glide Ajax, Glide Aggregate. So in Discovery also we do have a predefined scripts only in I mean available in the ServiceNow. So you doesn't want to have any kind of prerequisite knowledge about any kind of scripting, so it is all predefined scripting in ServiceNow, so where we can make use of all the things. And covering the part of orchestration will be done along with this service mapping alone, because you know that most of the pattern and most of the service mapping part will be taken care along with the orchestration itself. So in that service mapping, we used to cover the orchestration also. Okay. So you can post your question in the chat. I will be answering that soon. So let me quickly jump onto the part of demo, quick demo, what we are going to see today. I think everyone can view my screen. So introduction about the CMDB. So CMDB is a kind of configuration management database. So whatever the organization has in their configuration, like it can be a laptop, desktop, servers, Apache Tomcats, applications they are using within it. So think that you are an organization CEO or you are the organization IT officer. So you have to know about all the devices and the system, application, softwares, everything you have to know, correct? What are the things we are using, how much you are spending for each and every year, is there is any kind of things that are not utilized within our organization. So all this type of information you just need, right? So that's why we will be giving that along with this. And then the thing is over here is like here we used to go with the in I mean you know that CMDB has the service mapping, sorry, CMDB is the main class, and all the servers, switches, computers, printers, softwares, all are the subclasses of the CMDB CI. So CMDB underscore CI is the parent table, and all other table like CMDB underscore server, CMDB underscore CI dot database, all these are the child table of the CMDB. So we are going to dig deep into a system that how the CMDB has been configured, how the other sessions in the CMDB has been configured. So what is meant by CA relationship one? What is meant by business service, technical service, and business application? For that, you can see a screen over here which is going to help you out on this part. So most of the things all are not discoverable by the discovery. So there are some non-discoverable items also which is going to be discovered by the CA relationship or the patterns we have written into the system. So we are going to see that how it is going to be get discovered using the service mapping when it is coming to the business application and business services. Let me show you that in the system that how it is actually going to work on the system. Can you now view my screen? So here, if I go and see cmdb underscore ci dot list. So here if you see over here, I'm having nearly 3149 CIs in our system, and I have told you about in CMDB CI is the parent of all CI classes. Now let me group this CI classes to see what are the different type of classes we have. Can you see how many different classes we have in our CMDB? Each and every one is a separate table in the system. For example, take this application. So application is one of the class. In application class, we have only one record. Let us take the computer. Computer is also another CI. We are using computers daily. In now, it is seen that in this particular organization, we are having around 939 computers over here, and these are the name of that computer, and that comes under this class of computer. So here, can you see the name? So the thing is right here we are having computer and the computer name and operating this system as is showing Windows and the OS version over here. And RAM, what is the memory we are having over there, and the CPU speed, serial number of that particular machine and model of that machine. So the model of the computer is the Linux. We are having all other details over here. But if you see over here, can you see CMDB underscore CI underscore computer? So this is a child table of the CMDB underscore CI table, and it is giving and this information is going from the computer table. So like that, in the configuration management setup, we do have multiple classes under single CI. So CMDB CI is the parent, and all other like IP address, IP routers, IP switchers, everything is the child table of the CMDB CI. Okay. So whenever whatever things we need to get inserted into this particular table, we have to write the identification and reconciliation rules to notify to notify this particular CMDB CI that in what table this particular CI going to sit. See, discover will be discovered all the CIs, and now it is our ServiceNow instance job to place the CI in the correct table. Correct? I mean within the correct class. For that only we are using the IRE engine in the system. Now there are some questions from Shreya and the Pavan. They are asking, after completing this course, will I eligible to work on the live project and also go for the certification? Yes, you can definitely go for that. And whether I'm going to cover the custom pattern development in the service mapping. Yes, definitely we will be having a one lab session to cover the custom patterns also. So I will be giving you and teaching you how to write the custom patterns if it is a new one. And there is a question, one of the members is asking that what is a technical service, business service and application service? So whenever we talk about this technical or whatever we are just going to talk about in the in part or in the view of service mapping. So first, can any one of you tell me what is a technical service alone? So technical service in the sense like employee provisioning, backupping and recovery, storage items and self-service desktop, all these are comes under the technical service. For example, take an example, we are having ServiceNow. And in ServiceNow, we are having self catalogs, correct? In that catalogs, we used to map any one of the CI with that. Now that service has been mapped with one of the CI now. That is called technical service. Are you getting my point? So then we go to the business service. So the business service is like, or it is kind of a work or that is used to support an IT infrastructures. We can say like some of the example of business service like banking, insurance, warehouse, communication services. All these are comes under the business services. In that case, if the business services is mapped with any one of the CI, then the service mapping will be working with that business service. That's what I'm saying. Business service, technical service, application service, it is not discoverable. We are just making the relationship with the CMDB CI, and we are just producing the service mapping for that to find what services are related to what table or what CI in the organization. And the last one, you itself may can understand about the application service in the Servicenow. So the examples of the application services are like it is can be a order management system, CRM system, credit card payment system, any kind of online friend store. So whatever things we are using for the applications and whatever the support that we are giving using the our organization network, then for example take an online store. Definitely we used to have some server to conduct I mean this connection between the server and the online our online store. So now we want to connect that service to the particular server which is going to host this particular application. So in that thing we are going to map this particular one. Okay, any doubts on this? All are okay with this one? I think I answered most of the questions over here. Any other queries? Okay, so here in the class we are going to see next thing about the, is my word document is also viewable for you, correct?
Right, madam. You can see the document.
Okay, fine. So here you can see in what are the ways we can insert the CMDB CIs into the CI1. We can have external sources, we can have cloud management, service mapping, and discovery. So that's why, yeah, what is it?
Yes, are we,
Are we?
I mean, would like to know where the CMDB tables will get auto updated whenever the CS has been CS added to change or any activity, the change activity, those will
Hmm?
be updated in somewhere tables, right? So where generally they will be get
CI
updated.
affected. CI affected, you can
So I
check.
want to know that where the CMDB tables will
You can see the affected CI
be
table.
affected. Okay,
You can see the CI affected. Below in the related list
okay.
itself, you can find that particular table. For example, I'm going for the change management. Now I want to know which CI has been affected on behalf of this change. Okay, that is what your question, right? Wait, let me.
Yes, thing is like in some cases, CS are though they are in change, they are still triggering alerts or events due to the misplacement of CMDB or misbehavior of
There
CMDB.
can be some of the
So
duplicates. See, event managements will be working based on the alert system and it will see only if the particular CI is operational or retired. Operational status we have, correct? Whether it is operating or not. That is the only one thing it is going to see. It is not going to see whether it is under any kind of change or incident. It doesn't want it, correct? See, for example, I'm going to give one of the configuration item over here. What is it? We take this Linux server and save. Can you see the affected CA over here for this change task?
Yes, yes, able to see.
This is an task underscore CI table where you can see for what task what configuration item is doing. Okay. Is this was your question or are you looking for some other answer?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Uh, Partially yes, and not fully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going forward, we can discuss, I guess.
Fine. Okay. Yes, another question is you mentioned the rules to place in the CI in the correct table. And could you please, okay. See, when I'm going to talk about
And
IR engines,
the
we do
query got
have,
partially satisfied, not full length, but okay, going forward, we can discuss.
sure, fine. So, Nikita is asking about you mentioned the rules to place the CI in the correct table. Yes, identification rules and reconciliation rules we have. Let's see only one over here. We have identifiers in the system which used to identify the CIs in the system. These are the identifiers that will be working for each table. For example, take the CMDB underscore CI underscore IP address. Even though to insert a IP address, there is some IP address identifier rules has been already written. This is where we used to write the for this table and for the IP address, these conditions should be for this is the active one over here. What are the things we need to get the IP address? We need network partition underscore identifier, we need net mask value, and we need IP address. Only if we get these three items, then only we can insert the IP address. If already there is any IP address with the same value for this three component, I mean three attributes, then it will update the things. It won't insert the new record into the system. Okay, Nikita, I think yeah, I have been answered your query.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. So once while we digging deep into a system, I will tell you how to write this identifier rules and where this identifier rules will be implemented in the system and how to see the patterns and how the patterns are working to launch each and every dependent one, how to write dependent rule or independent identification rules, how the CI class manager get works in system, how the IR engine works into it, and how the discovery and the service, discovery and mid server is working out. What is the relationship? How to check the and how to troubleshoot the things using the ECCQ. These all topics we will be covering in this particular one. Okay.
Okay, Prancy, are we covering API setup with SolarWinds? You said that, right? We'll be testing with the SolarWinds. So,
For
are we
event
covering
management.
this API for event management?
Hello,
Yes.
Are we covering with the API part as
తిన్నాను
well?
నువ్వు
Yes.
దోశ
Okay. So, we're going to
నువ్వు
do some testings as well, right?
Definitely. We are
Thank you.
going to do much with event management using
So,
SolarWinds because it is a free tool. Yeah.
the only thing that concern is like, are we going to test with only SolarWinds, or we do have some test tools like Nagios and Dynatrace are also
Nagio,
being
I was checking out. Okay. See, there are some free tools.
Dynatrace.
We Nagios, yeah, Nagios,
Yes, Nagios as
Nagios.
well. Yes, Dynatrace as well. We can get a 30 days trial
నాగియోస్
pack.
Yeah, yeah.
Nagios, right?
So yeah, I am just checking with by creating an application in that to do that what APIs and all I'm trying out. and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying out with multiple ways. Yeah. Now I confirm with
Okay,
SolarWinds, but for the
that's okay.
monitoring tools, I will tell you. Okay, soon.
Then it sounds good for me. And there
Because
is a one
I'm
more
just
concern.
searching some of the very difficult part to done. So once I teach you the difficult
That's
part, you can solve the easy ones by yourself in your
that's
scenarios.
okay. Huh.
Yeah.
And one more thing, are we going to implement any automation activities with ITOM thing like where we generate the tasks, right? The alerts will create a tasks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to call any kind of credentials for management from Vault kind of stuff, or are we going to call any scripts from open repositories like GitHub, Bitbucket, those stuff?
No, currently not. We doesn't opening any kind of open repositories. So that's why I'm
Okay.
using this SCCM for the data source, but not using this
Mm-hmm.
credential part and all. But because I'm going to do with this within service no credential only, I'm going to do it
Okay. Okay.
only with
Okay.
Windows and Linux machine. Yeah.
That's
And
okay.
also, I will be teaching you about the credential-less discovery also using the Nmap. How to do that
Uh-huh.
credential-less discovery also.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
are you going to cover any business relations where the discovery can be happened with adding one
yes,
relation to the particular field?
yeah, that thing surely I will be done with this part
Uh,
because for I am teaching the advanced service mapping also. So in that part,
mm-hmm.
those things will get covered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question than this? Any doubts? So this session will be helping you out once you've done the session. So definitely you can go and sit in one of the project and you can start working out. So it will be giving you a real-time scenario, and one after the end of the session you will be getting one project, and project feedback will be given to you once you are doing that project. So day to day important questions and interview questions I will be telling you. What are the scenario based questions you can have during the interviews? Those things I will be helping out you on this part. There is two more questions on the chat. CMDB event manage only these topics will cover on this course or any other topics. So what are the other topics you're looking for in the event manage? I already showed full syllabus with you. So if you propose any kind of new topics, I can add this within the syllabus. Integrations. Integration only I'm going to do with SolarWinds and other things. So not sure about what you are, specifically asking. Course duration is 30 hours of course, but it may vary from 2 to 3 hours max sometimes. Regarding the project feedbacks and all, it may vary, but the duration is 30 hours of course. Anything other than this, guys?
Apologies, talking in mute. So
Sorry.
the service, sorry, apologies, I'm just talking in mute. Okay, the
Okay.
service now has a capability to integrate with many other third-party tools, right? Where it can communicate with the APIs, true APIs.
Yeah.
So are we going to learn about the Postman or a kind of tools a little bit in order to check the
Postman
API?
is just a basic tool, okay? You can test it
Yeah,
out using
wait.
it. But once you learn about how to integrate using OAuth 2.0, and then it is an easy job. But for each and every third party system, According to their own setup, we need to learn few things anyways, correct? If we want to go with SolarWinds, you know what are the ports we need to connect. And if you want to
Yes.
go with Nagios, we want to know that how that system is. So if you are going into that situation, go and ask that particular environment people to give the document about the integration. What are the
Uh,
ports we have? What are the endpoints we need to use to get these things, that things? You can go and ask those particular, I mean, administrators to help you out to provide the particular document. See,
right.
we are
Uh,
ServiceNow developers. We are not
ye-
going to be a SolarWinds or Nagios developers, correct?
yes.
So it is
Yes.
their duty to provide any kind of documents that help us to do the integration between these two parties.
Okay.
You doesn't want to bother about whether they're going to ask any question. They may doubted about our knowledge and don't think in that way. We are developers of service now and not about the other tools. So you can directly go and ask them for the integration documents and endpoints and what are the methods we need to use. If there is any special restriction has been available, do you have any primary firewall to go and touch this system into the organization? All these things you can go and knock the door of IT admin people within the organization to get all this information.
Okay.
Okay. So Nagesh, I'm not sure how to share the document with you, but I already showed the full topics in the starting of the session itself. Um, Not sure how to place the document over here. Okay. So this will be quite fun, quite knowledgeable, quite deep. I mean, you will be digging deep. It will be brainstorming. So don't think this is too tough. It is really very easy comparing to writing the scripts. It is very easy. Only thing you have to know how to configure this within the service now. That is the thing actually. Other than this, if you think in a logical way, then it is a very easy one. Nagesh, could you please ping the Gautam IT Solutions to get that detailed syllabus for you? So who gave you the links to join over here? You can ask the same person to share the syllabus with you. I just mentioned this in the previous, while the starting of the session, how much scripting knowledge we require for ITOM. For ITOM, we doesn't need any part of the scripting knowledge. We just have the predefined scripts over here. So we will be learning only that predefined APIs that are using over here. And when it is coming to PowerShell and Unix, I will be giving you some of the commands what you have to see for getting the particular device knowledge, device net stats, that kind of common commands I will be giving you to troubleshoot. Other than that, it is easy. Okay, Pavan. The custom pattern, yeah, definitely we are having one custom pattern. I will make you to design the custom pattern as a lab session. So where you know how to build the custom pattern from the scratch to end. I will telling you that how that library has been predefined library has been built into the custom patterns and how if you want to change any kind of things within that library, how you have to how you want to write that query. So all these things I will be making you to learn in the custom pattern portion. So, if you find this session, this session will be making you that you are having. This session will make you that you will be very good when you completing this session. Definitely, you can do the item projects. So you can give your feedbacks to the coordinator who coordinates you. Please let me know on your thoughts, and you can confirm on the same. And the relevant documents recordings will be provided you on the daily basis.
Okay, okay. And ma'am, I have one question. Like, what are the timings for the question
It's
course?
10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Daily one
Okay,
hour session.
IST,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, IST. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm just winding up this session. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye. Thanks for joining this session. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks.